Halfland, an ahistorical prehistory. Playing hard to get. The Lixian custom was that on the morning of her wedding day, a bride would be collected from her place of residence by her husband-to-be, who would dress for the occasion as if going to war, wearing armour and carrying a shield and sword. The origins of this custom are not altogether clear, but it may date back to times when marriages did not always happen with the consent of the bride and her kinfolk. In any case, on a sunny morning in the year 74 of the Common Reckoning, Selapos, Thestor, and Biton, who were the three sons of Cyramos, went to collect their brides. Usually, a bride's place of residence would be the house of her parents, but these were the daughters of Iris. They were free-spirited and independent, and dwelt in a cottage in the woods. They were also contrary young women, who did not wish to marry the husbands that had been selected for them. The three brothers approached the cottage of the three sisters and called to them, asking them to come outside and join them. No one came out of the cottage, but to the brothers' right, Pero, the youngest sister, stepped out from behind a tree. Custom required that a bride dressed demurely in white and meekly accompanied her husband-to-be to the altar of an appropriate god, where the wedding ceremony was performed. Pero had followed this custom in so far as she was wearing a white loincloth. However, as she was wearing nothing else except a crested helmet, her appearance was hardly demure. And Biton in particular, who was her intended, was disconcerted to see that she was carrying a bow. And then the other two sisters came charging around the left side of the house. Their bridal garb was also unconventional. Crataeis was also wearing nothing but a loincloth and a helmet, but her loincloth was not white, but purple, and the sword and shield she was carrying were not very maidenly. The eldest sister, Arisbe, had at least been modest enough to cover her breasts, albeit with a breastplate. But the two-handed spear she was carrying did not look very welcoming. Before the brothers could react, Pero loosed an arrow at Biton. The arrow flew straight and true, and its broad head severed the artery in Biton's thigh. That was the end of Biton. And the other two sisters, shrieking, attacked Thestor. He had barely time to draw his sword before Arisbe's spear had pierced his vitals. That was the end of Thestor. That left Selapos. He drew his sword and charged at Crataeis, who simply ran away from him. Realizing that he could not catch the sisters in order to attack them, and that even if he did catch them, he was outnumbered 3-1, Selapos decided that it was time to make his excuses and leave. He headed back the way he had come, while Pero, laughing, loosed arrows at him. But her laughter seemed to disturb her aim, and none of those arrows found its mark. That was the end of the matter, and that is why the daughters of Iris were never married.